The movie begins by introducing a beautiful girl named Cher Horowitz. Her mother passed away when she was just a baby, and now she lives in a mansion in Beverly Hills with her father, Mel, a tough lawyer. Cher is kind-hearted, attractive, and always stylish. She is also very popular at school and attends Bronson Hallcott High School with her best friend, Dion Davenport, who is equally rich and beautiful. One morning, Cher prepares a drink for her father, telling him it contains vitamin C, which is good for his health. She then mentions that her stepbrother, Josh, will be coming over. Josh, who is studying at university, is Cher's socially conscious stepbrother. The next scene shows Cher driving her Jeep to school, picking up Dion, and the two of them heading to meet Dion's boyfriend, Murray. While they're together, Dion and Murray argue, and Cher, not wanting to be involved, decides to leave. Unlike Dion, Cher doesn't have a boyfriend and isn't interested in high school boys. Later, Cher is in class, where she debates with Amber on a topic. However, the rest of the class doesn't really pay attention to what they're saying. In class, Cher and Amber continue their debate, but their teacher, Mr. Hall, is the only one who listens to them. Afterward, Cher is asked to give her opinion on a topic. She goes up to the board to explain, but no one pays attention except Mr. Hall. In the class, there's a student named Travis, who is a bit odd, and Elton, a popular guy who is Cher's friend. At the end of class, the teacher hands out papers with the students' grades. Cher is disappointed to see that she got a C, and she worries that her father will be angry with her for doing poorly in school. When she gets home, Cher finds Josh already there, and they talk in the kitchen. They have a playful argument, with Cher mocking his idealism and Josh teasing her for being selfish and superficial, saying she only cares about shopping. Their dad calls them to dinner, and this is when he asks Cher about her grades. Cher explains that she plans to negotiate with her teacher to improve her grades. Her reasoning seems to calm her father's anger. After dinner, Cher and Dion decide to set up their teacher, Mr. Hall, and Mrs. Geist on a date, planning to help them get together. Cher decides to play matchmaker for two of her hardworking teachers, Mr. Hall and Mrs. Geist, thinking that if they get together, Mr. Hall's mood will improve and he might change her grades. No one expects it to work, but over time, Mr. Hall and Mrs. Geist grow closer, and as a result, Cher's grades begin to improve. One day during gym class, a new student is introduced. She has a very geeky appearance, and Cher quickly realizes she enjoys helping others. Inspired by this, Cher decides to make the new girl, Ty, her project. Cher plans to adopt Ty as her new best friend and help her fit in. Cher and Dion work together to give Ty a makeover, which boosts her confidence and helps her develop a sense of style. The next day, Cher notices that Travis is flirting with Ty, but she doesn't approve. She warns Ty to stay away from him, believing that Travis isn't the right kind of guy for her. Instead, Cher tries to set Ty up with Elton, a popular and good-looking student at school. Cher invites Ty to her house to help her get ready for a party, styling her to look fashionable and confident. Meanwhile, Josh watches from a distance, noticing how Cher is always involved in helping others. Cher proudly tells Josh that she saved Ty from the struggles of being a teenager, but Josh doesn't seem to care and brushes her off. The next day, the school takes pictures, and while everyone is excited, Ty feels shy. Elton notices and comforts her, putting his arm around her and encouraging her to smile, which makes Ty happy. At the party, Cher continues to try setting up Ty with Elton. Ty starts to like him, but Elton clearly isn't interested in her and makes it obvious. Meanwhile, Dion is upset with her boyfriend again, this time because he got his hair cut. She says she doesn't want to be with a bald guy and storms off. After the party, Elton drives Cher home, but when he tries to kiss her, Cher firmly rejects him. She's upset and leaves the car, but things take a turn for the worse as she's robbed after Elton drives away. Alone on the street, Cher calls Josh from a phone booth. Josh and his friend quickly come to her rescue. Meanwhile, Ty is heartbroken when she learns that Elton is not interested in her. Cher feels bad for Ty and decides to help her find a new guy. The next day, Cher spots a handsome boy named Christian, and it becomes clear that she has a crush on him. Christian is a classmate, and Cher's interest in him adds a new layer to her social life, leaving her excited about the possibilities. He doesn't attend classes regularly because he spends part of his semester in Chicago, but he still manages to draw Cher's attention. She decides to make him her target boyfriend and takes action to grab his interest. Her plan works, and Christian invites her to a party. At the party, Cher wears a white dress, which catches the attention of her stepbrother, Josh. He seems fascinated by her, but Cher's decision to go to the party with Christian doesn't sit well with him. Josh becomes jealous and follows them to the party. There, Cher is dancing with Christian when she notices Ty arriving. Cher approaches Ty, and soon both girls realize that Josh is at the party too. Josh even asks Cher to dance. One day, when her father is away, Cher calls Christian and invites him over to spend the night. With Dion's help, Cher arranges everything for a perfect evening. Christian arrives, and they watch a movie together on Cher's bed. During the movie, Cher tries to be playful and get physical, but Christian doesn't seem interested. Instead, he is content just watching the film. Despite her advances, Christian remains focused on the movie, leaving Cher feeling a little confused but still determined to make the night go as planned. The next morning, Cher is talking to Dion and Murray about what happened the night before. She's frustrated and annoyed because things didn't go as planned. Murray laughs and tells her that the guy she's trying to seduce, Christian, is actually gay. That's why she couldn't get him to respond to her advances. As they talk, they're in the car, driving on a busy road. Dion gets so caught up in the conversation that she loses focus on driving and almost crashes the car. It's a scary moment, but Dion manages to pull over safely. Murray quickly hugs Dion in relief. Watching them, Cher realizes that Dion really needs a boyfriend. Cher is upset and surprised to learn that Christian is gay, but she decides to stay friends with him, appreciating his great taste in art and fashion. Cher and Ty invite Christian to go shopping with them, and while at the mall, something scary happens. Ty almost falls off a high lobby, being bullied by two men. Christian quickly steps in and saves her, preventing her from falling. This event turns out to be a blessing in disguise for Ty. Her near miss becomes a hot topic at school, and everyone is eager to hear her story. Later, when Travis approaches Ty, she stands up for herself and tells him off, saying some harsh words. Cher starts to notice that Ty has changed. She's no longer the shy, passive girl she once was. Ty has become more confident. However, Cher's life takes a negative turn as Ty's newfound popularity starts to strain their relationship. Cher's frustration grows when she fails her driving test and can't seem to fix the result. One day, Ty shows up at Cher's house and tells her that she's gotten over Elton. Now, Ty wants Cher to help her get closer to Josh. Cher doesn't think they're a good match and refuses to help. Ty keeps asking, but Cher stands firm. Eventually, Ty mocks Cher for failing her driving test, and this leads to a big argument. Ty even calls Cher a virgin who can't drive, which deeply hurts Cher. Cher is especially hurt because she had helped Ty, saving her from getting into bad situations. After the fight, Cher reflects on her actions and realizes that she has often failed to appreciate the people in her life. She leaves the house feeling upset and restless. As she walks, Cher starts to wonder why she's so bothered by the idea of Ty and Josh being together. After thinking it through, she has a sudden realization: she actually loves Josh. This new realization makes her nervous whenever she's around him. Cher begins to show signs of change, growing emotionally and understanding more about her feelings. Her journey towards self-awareness and personal growth has just begun. Cher starts to make a real effort to live a more purposeful life. She volunteers to help victims of natural disasters by collecting donations and even takes the lead in her school's Pismo Beach disaster relief effort. One day, when Travis donates his stuff, Cher is impressed by him and begins to see him in a new light. She no longer finds him weird and even decides to attend a skateboarding race he's participating in. At the race, Cher meets Ty, and the two girls decide to put their past differences behind them. They apologize to each other, agreeing to never fight again. Later, Cher helps Josh and his father's employees with some legal documents for a trial. However, she makes a mistake, which causes one of her father's employees to insult her. Feeling hurt and humiliated, Cher leaves, but Josh defends her, standing up to the employee. He goes to find Cher sitting on the stairs, trying to comfort her. Their conversation helps Cher feel better, and this is when they both realize their feelings for each other. They finally kiss, and soon after, they make love, both feeling satisfied. The story shifts to a wedding, where it turns out that Mr. Hall and Miss Geist are getting married, thanks to Cher's matchmaking. The students are invited to the ceremony, and we see Ty and Travis sitting together, now a couple. When Miss Geist throws her bouquet, Cher catches it and immediately goes to kiss Josh. The movie ends with a happy conclusion, showing how Cher's growth and efforts to help others have led to positive changes in her life and relationships.